Hello, today we shall study yarn singeing and conditioning. Let us see what is singeing. Yarns, whether they are carded or combed, they will show some projecting fibers on the surface when they are viewed against light. So these projecting hair actually increase the bulk and diameter of the yarn. The yarn boundaries are not clear and the yarn appears to be fuzzy. Although these protruding fibers make the yarn coarse, they do not contribute towards the yarn strength. So basically these fibers are there on the surface, they make them look appearance wise the yarns look bad, but at the same time they don't even contribute to the yarn strength. So what is done is singeing or gassing is the process which involves burning of protruding or projecting fibers from the surface of the yarn, and by this burning of the fibers from the surface, what we achieve is the following objectives. The first one is that the singeing of yarn makes it more compact and makes the yarn surface lustrous. The luster might come from the fact that light reflection, if the hair were to be there, light reflection would be in all directions, and as soon as the hair is removed by singeing, it makes it more lustrous. So the second reason for singeing on gassing is that it removes the bulk of the protruding fibers from the surface of the yarn, making it smoother, which is of course related to the lustrous property that is improved, and it also makes it a bit finer. The process of mercerization is also more successfully carried out on a singed yarn. So once you singe it, the next process, that is the mercerization, if at all it needs to be carried out, it will be more successful. There are different methods of singeing. The most widely used is the gas singeing, but it has its own disadvantages. We'll see gas singeing first. Before that, this is the image of a singed yarn. The right one is a singed yarn, and the left yarn is the unsinged one. You can see the kind of difference that is there between an unsinged and a singed yarn. So let us first take a look at the video on gas singeing. Okay, so what we saw is actually there is a flame in the machine over which the yarn is passed and the protruding fibers are burnt. Um, Now the intensity of gassing. The intensity of gassing can be varied by controlling the yarn speed, the yarn distance from the flame, as well as the intensity of the flame itself. So these are the three factors which influence the intensity with which the singeing is done. Uh, about 5 to 10% of the fibers are burnt. Excessive gassing may lead to weakening of the yarn. This we must keep in mind. Let us see the disadvantages of gassing. Following are the defects observed during gas singeing. The yarn might get blackened due to incorrect mixture of air and gas, that is dirty burners, etc. Unbalanced speed of the yarn and ill proportionate heat produced by the burner flame may result in over singeing. Discoloration of the yarn is a common defect caused by blocked burners, variation in flame intensity, and variation in the gas pressure. So, due to all these reasons, the yarn might get discolored at some times. Also, a variation in the intensity of heat produced may result in formation of stripes. So, having seen the disadvantages of gas singeing, we should also look at the safety factor. Quenching of yarn, that is, the singeing of yarn involves burning of the fibers. As we have seen, there's an actual flame that is used, and sometimes the burnt out fibers do not get completely extinguished, and this might be a problem. So which needs, that's why the yarn needs to be, as soon as it leaves the yarn burning zone, it must be extinguished. And therefore, and the reason behind this is it may cause, of course, fire hazards or the other safety issues that are there. But at the same time, from the point of view of yarn, this can cause continued burning and affect the body of the yarn. Therefore, it is necessary to quench the yarn as soon as it comes out of the burning zone. The yarn is, in this case, simply dipped in a water trough partially filled with water. So, having seen gas singeing, let us see electrical singeing. The modern method of singeing is the electrical singeing. The yarn is passed in between two heated coils or through the loops of a single large coil. In the electrical singeing, it has become popular over a period of years because it has the following advantages over gas singeing. The heat is more uniform and can be controlled. The coil has low voltage and hence there is less danger of fire hazards. The surrounding area of the coil is enclosed with heat resistant materials which prevent any heat loss due to radiation. Unlike gas singeing, here discoloration of yarn is less likely to occur. So also the smell and the impurities of the burning are absent in the electric singeing. So these are some of the advantages of electrical singeing over gas singeing. But at the same time, we should take care of the ventilation in the singeing room. Even in the video, we saw that the fibers were all flying all around. So this could be a problem. The gassing or singeing room is very important, and ventilation is a serious problem, and hence it is necessary to provide good ventilation. Proper ventilation ensures removal of burnt gases and heat produced during this singeing process. There are hoods situated over the machine which carry the burnt gas and impure hot air. The suction fan situated at the end of ducts coming from different machines removes the foul air. The air coming out of these ducts may be led into a water tank instead of polluting the atmosphere. That means instead of simply leaving these fly and burnt gases directly into the atmosphere, they may be led into a water tank so that it doesn't pollute the surrounding atmosphere. So this is one of the manufacturers who's SSM from Switzerland, and they produce yarn singeing machine. The machine speeds might range from 850 to 1000 RPM. So having finished the explanation on, or understood the explanation on singeing, let us go to yarn conditioning. Let us see the aim of yarn conditioning. The aim of yarn conditioning is to provide an economical device for supplying the necessary moisture in a short time in order to achieve a lasting improvement in quality. So basically we are trying to provide some amount of moisture if possible in a shorter time to the yarn so that we can improve the quality of yarn. So improving the fiber and the yarn properties is the first basic aim. So there are many different objectives here which we will see one by one. The first one we are discussing is improving the fiber and yarn properties. Cotton fiber is hygroscopic material and has the ability to absorb water in the form of steam. The hygroscopic property of cotton fiber depends on the relative humidity. The higher the humidity, more is the moisture absorption by this particular fiber. So the increase in the relative atmospheric humidity causes a rise in the moisture content of the cotton fiber. So we all know that cotton fiber is being a material which is hygroscopic will always absorb moisture from the atmosphere and come to an equilibrium by absorbing moisture. So if the water content of the cotton fiber is increased, there is one more advantage, that if in case of cotton fiber especially, if the water content is increased, the fiber is able to swell, and it results in an increased fiber to fiber surface contact in the twisted yarn structure. So this positive alteration in the properties of the fiber will again have a positive effect on the strength and elasticity of the yarn. When the cotton will absorb moisture, we can see a positive effect, that is the strength and the elasticity of the resulting yarn will increase. And also the basic fiber strength and elasticity increases proportionately with the increase in humidity. So not only the fiber itself increases in strength, also the resulting yarn will show an increase in strength due to the other reason, that is because basic strength has increased, but also the fiber has swollen up, and there is better fiber to fiber surface contact, and because of that also um, the in the yarn structure, since the surface contact has increased, the yarn strength would increase. So having seen the first property, or the improvement or the advantage of having a conditioning process done, let us go to the next, and that is restoring moisture in the yarn. So having understood that the yarns would always show better properties if there is enough moisture in the yarn, so the opposite is true. Dry yarns will have worse properties when compared to yarns having higher degree of moisture content in them. So higher speed machines that we are operating with nowadays, they generate a lot of friction, and therefore they generate additional heat and in the atmosphere and around the yarn, and as a result of such heat transfer, the yarn moisture content is vaporized. So most of the moisture that is there in the yarn, it gets vaporized. So rising speed in spinning therefore result in decreased yarn quality for other processes. When I say other processes, the processes that may come later on, that means the yarn that is being used in whatever downstream process, there we always see a decreased yarn quality. And so let us take a look at the graph which shows moisture reduction scenario in the cotton process. So starting from raw cotton, where the moisture content might have been around 8% moisture regain, we see that there is a continuous deterioration in the moisture regain percentage, starting from blow room to card to draw frame sliver, and then finisher sliver, then fly frame, ring frame, and autoconer in the during winding. Uh, Only moisture can be restored if we are carrying out the process of conditioning, where you can see we have tried to restore the moisture regain in the cotton. So due to the change in the production levels of weaving as well as knitting, which are the downstream processes, since we are using sophisticated manufacturing techniques over there, the yarn quality required to run on these machines is also extremely very high. So the expectation that the yarn quality is good is always there from the downstream processes. So in order to satisfy these demands without altering the raw material, that means we are not changing the basic raw material, but we are doing certain things to improve the quality further, so that the demands on the in the downstream processes are met with. So this can be done, and it is possible to make use of physical properties inherent in the cotton fibers. So the inherent property of a cotton fiber is that when it absorbs moisture, it will improve in strength. So using this particular property to our advantage, we can always restore the moisture in the yarn, and take care that the yarn quality that we supply to the downstream processes is of their requirement. So let us come to the monetary point of view, the advantage in this direction. Yarn sold with a lower moisture content than the standard value will result in a monetary loss, because we are losing weight as soon as the moisture content is lower. So also moisture in the atmosphere has a great impact on the physical properties of the textile fibers and yarn. We have seen that. A high degree of moisture improves the physical properties of the yarn. It helps the yarn to attain standard moisture regain value of the fiber. So therefore, the aim of yarn conditioning is to provide an economical device for supplying the necessary moisture in a short time in order to achieve a lasting improvement in quality. So by doing yarn conditioning, we are taking care of the quality as well as from the monetary point of view, whatever loss we might have suffered, we are trying to gain it. So let us see what other advantages there. There is also a reduction in the snarling tendency that we see. Conditioning reduces the snarling tendency of a twist lively yarn by bringing the yarn in a state of equilibrium. So the effect of the process gives fibers, yarn or fabric the dimensional stability that is lacking if conditioning is not done. So the conventional yarn conditioning method, let us see what it did actually. The standard conventional steaming treatment for yarn is chiefly used for twist setting to avoid snarling in the further processing. It does not result in lasting improvement in the yarn quality. The steaming process may fail to ensure even distribution of the moisture, especially on crossbond bobbin cheeses with medium to high compactness. The steaming process it fails because earlier there was what people used to do was only simply spray the water in a room where these cheeses were kept, and that would not actually improve anything beyond snarling tendency. And also we would observe that the even distribution of moisture was missing. So to take care of all this, we will see how the modern yarn conditioning method has taken care of all these drawbacks. But before that, let us see the other aspects of conventional yarn conditioning. The absence of vacuum in conventional conditioning chambers prevents homogeneous penetration of this moisture into the cheese. The outer layers of the package are too moist, and the transition from moist to dry yarn gives rise to substantial variation in the downstream processing of the package, both with regard to frictional data and the strength. So since the entire package would not be uniformly conditioned, so there would be a variation, and such a variation would be easily observed in the downstream processes, and which would give a variation in the yarn strength, and also it would affect the downstream processing. So since the moisture is applied superficially in the wet steam zone or by misting with water jets, as I said, it would be only sprayed. It has a tendency to become readjusted immediately to the ambient humidity levels. So since it was all superficial application of the moisture, the yarn would come back to its original moisture regain, and nothing much would really get affected in terms of yarn physical properties. So humidity level would go to its original state in the or rather moisture regain would go to its original levels because of the large surface area. And the equipment also that was used for this kind of conditioning would prevent the optimum flow of goods, and it would take up too much space. So these were some of the disadvantages or the aspects that of conventional yarn conditioning. So with this, let us have a look at what the modern yarn conditioning system does to take care of these drawbacks. The vacuum principle and indirect steam treat the yarn very gently in an absolutely saturated steam atmosphere. The vacuum first removes the air pockets. So first the yarn is subjected to a vacuum where it removes the air pocket from the yarn package to ensure accelerated steam penetration in the next process. And it also removes the atmospheric oxygen in order to prevent oxidation. The conditioning process makes use of physical properties of saturated steam or wet steam, which is 100% moisture in gaseous state. The yarn is uniformly moistened by this gas. The great advantage of this process is that the moisture in the form of gas is very finely distributed throughout the yarn package and does not cling to the yarn in the form of droplets. So this is achieved in any crosswound bobbin, whether the yarn packages are packed or are in open pallets or in cardboard boxes. So this is this is an image. Sorry. This is an image which shows shows the conventional yarn conditioning versus the modern yarn conditioning. This is a cross section of the package showing the amount of penetration of moisture within the package. As you can see that here in this case, in case of conventional, the penetration is not sufficient. You can still see areas where the moisture has not been able to reach. Whereas in modern vacuum technology, we can see that the penetration of the moisture is quite uniform. So having seen this, let us take a look at the video on yarn conditioning. So we can see here how the yarn was preconditioned on these trolleys. First putting them into the vacuum chamber and then transferring them to the steam chamber where they would be conditioned, and the entire process is automatic. After the conditioning time of maybe say 50-55 minutes depending on the yarn that we are conditioning, the trolleys are getting unloaded. So we have seen the conditioning process, how it is done in two stages, and so let us see the process parameters, or what are the other conditions that need to be added to, so that we can get a good conditioning of the yarns. So although yarn conditioning machine can add the moisture of the yarn, one must consider different raw material and yarn counts to make different yarn conditioning programs. So the conditioning cannot be the conditions for conditioning cannot be uniform for all kinds of raw material or yarn counts. They have to be customized, and different yarn conditioning programs need to be prepared for different materials. So let us have a little bit of basic understanding of how we should change this in under what circumstances. So in spite of the higher moisture, if there is a high vacuum condition, the low quality of raw cotton coarse count and higher ratio of short fiber could make the yarn over relaxed. So if the yarn that we are conditioning is of a lower quality, and if we try to give it good or a longer span of treatment with having high vacuum and higher moisture, in that case the yarn becomes over relaxed, and thus we may find that there is a loss in yarn strength. Therefore cotton yarn less than 21's count, that is if it is lower than 21's, then they need less vacuum, low steam temperature. The heat up time should be longer. That means over a period of time the heating should take place. It should not be very abrupt, and we should maintain a constant temperature when we are processing yarns of a lower quality or conditioning the yarns of a lower quality, and this must be kept in mind. For PC or pure polyester fibers as well as combed yarn, it requires high vacuum degree and high steam temperature. The time for heating up and constant temperature is related to the actual twist, but maximum should not exceed 70 minutes. So we can, in case of polyester, we can go for a higher degree of steam and temperature, but in any case it should not exceed 70 minutes in total. So the maximum temperature for cotton fiber in yarn conditioning machine should not exceed 85, but pure polyester could reach even up to 140. So otherwise, if we go beyond this, it will have a negative effect on the yarn strength. The maximum temperature selected in case of waxed yarns must be less than the melting point of wax. Otherwise, it will affect the waxing process that was earlier carried out. So also in the case of cotton fiber, absorption of moisture is delayed after processing in the yarn conditioning machine. It is therefore better to pack or use the yarn after 30 minutes rest in the yarn stock room. So after the conditioning is done, the material needs to be kept for 30 minutes because there is a delay in the moisture absorption. So this would so by keeping this for 30 minutes rest, this will allow enough time for the surface water to evaporate and also to retain the same moisture level both inside and outside of the yarn. So it will come to an sort of equilibrium. The yarn that has been processed in the yarn conditioning machine should not be mixed with the ones which has not been conditioned or processed. Otherwise, there will be an appearance of long and narrow shadow on the final product after dyeing. And this is especially seen in case of knitted fabrics. So having seen this, let us see the advantages that this conditioning process would give us in the downstream processes. Um, in spinning process, yarn conditioning machine is used to adjust the moisture of the yarn and to improve the efficiency in the next process. So after processing, when the moisture level of the yarn would reach about 8.5%, strength and elongation can be increased greatly with the help of, which help the performance in the processing lines, which will come later on. So the handling of the conditioned cone yarn would improve the efficiency on winding, doubling and twisting, and also reduce the yarn hairiness. It will also help to improve warping efficiency and to reduce the defects from rewinding and warping. So similar improvements are seen in the efficiency of sizing and weaving, ensuring the quality of the final fabric. So overall, we see in the all the downstream processes, including winding, warping, sizing, and weaving, we see an overall improvement in the working or the improvement in the efficiency of these machines. So the yarn after processing also by yarn conditioning machine would improve the working process as well as the quality of the final fabric. Because of fixed twisting and shaping of the yarn, it will give equal height of raising and looping in reduce the unwinding tension, stabilize the structure, and size of the end fabric, and give a better appearance. That means basically it would lead to a better dimensional stability of the final fabric, both in case of weaving as well as knitted fabrics, and it would lead to a better appearance. Especially, it is the key process for setting the seamless underclothing. The process of conditioning will not only stabilize the twist but also fully relax the yarn to reduce the shrinkage of the final product. So also, not only does the appearance improve, but also the shrinkage property or the shrinkage in the final product or the fabric is less due if we have carried out conditioning. Also, in the dyeing industry, let us see what are the advantages. In the dyeing industry, processing after yarn conditioning machine can remove the stress on the grey fabric, which will help for uniform absorption of the dye to obtain bright colors as well as uniform shade of the fabric. Also, in the garment industry, yarn conditioning machine can make fabric with stable size. That means it will stabilize and have a good dimensional stability. Also, reduction in shrinkage is seen and improvement in quality in the overall quality of the fabric. So processing yarn, especially the chemical fiber in the conditioning machine, can greatly improve the quality and the appreciation of the final product. So with this, we come to the end of today's lecture on yarn singeing and conditioning. Thank you.